Okay, in this tutorial, we're going to look at why a glacial landscape is suited for water storage. So the idea we're looking at is the fact that our cities, where 80 to 85% of the Scottish population live, require a huge amount of water. Unfortunately, the water that the cities need isn't present in the landscape surrounding these cities, because these cities are often much lower landscapes that are drier and don't have large areas of water nearby. That is where the glaciated landscape comes in. So what we're going to do in this activity is we're going to look at what is it about a glaciated landscape that suits the building of large dams, which we can see here in the photograph, which then create a large reservoir behind them, which acts as an area that water can be stored, which can then be piped down to the cities. So let's have a little look at Google Earth and take a look at an area of a glaciated landscape that has been turned into an area for water storage. So here we have a loch, which might at first glance, this is an aerial view, look like it's a natural formed loch, but actually it's entirely artificial. It would have just been a river flowing through a valley in the past. But they've built a dam across the valley, and we can see that from the straight front of the lake. And this dam has created or trapped the water behind it in the valley. Now, what is suitable about a glaciated landscape for doing this is we have the U-shaped valley with steep valley sides on either side, and they actually act as a natural trap of the water. So the water can't spread out left or right because it's got the steep U-shaped valley on either side. Also, the dam you build doesn't have to be too large because it just has to be built across the front of the valley. Another advantage of this landscape is the fact that it's a mountain landscape, so it's going to be very wet. And therefore, this area of water storage will continually trap that water that falls on the mountains and then works its way through little streams into the loch. So this loch is going to be continually recharged, even though they're draining it down, especially in summertime when the cities will have a high demand for water. Another advantage is this is a very remote landscape, so it's unlikely that anybody's going to protest about the building of a large dam. If we just have a little look at a dam's not a very attractive looking landscape feature, and it might ruin a landscape if you build a large concrete feature like we can see here. But if you build it in an incredibly remote location, it is unlikely that there's going to be very many people who are going to be upset or oppose or protest against the building of a dam. Likewise, the land that's turned into a lake or a reservoir behind it is going to be land that probably wasn't being used for anything else prior to the building of the dam. There wouldn't have been any farming going on it, for example, because it would probably just be, the soils would be too poor and the climate will be too hostile for farming. And therefore, we're not really losing valuable land. So what you now want to do is consider the things that I've said, add the labels up here to your diagram, and then submit it once you've got your annotations.